The big switch. Biden finally admits a recession. Checks to follow soon. So, do you guys believe in the phrase history repeats itself? Now, if you do, then you should probably already know what's coming for the midterm elections, and it's not looking good for the Democrats. While even I have had to admit that they've had a lot of legislative progression in recent months, there's not much to be happy about as they signed the Inflation Reduction Act, and inflation is worse than ever. They touted lower gas prices, and now they're on their way up. They spoke of student loan forgiveness, but had to remove almost 1 million beneficiaries. I could go on and on about this, but the main point is that the Democrats, they may be in trouble for next month. I almost feel like all the promises have been lies to us. Anyway, do you guys agree? Drop me a quick comment, yes or no, down below. Also, we are now seeing how lawmakers switch sides as we have a former presidential candidate formally renounce their connection to the left. That doesn't sound too good for the Democrats. With less than a month till November, their party seems to be crumbling, with both parties seemingly in favor of adding more stimulus check provisions. It's only a matter of time until we actually see one of them actually take credit for it. For your daily dose of the truth when it comes to the US economy, the stock market, fourth stimulus package updates, passive income, social security, and everything that's going on in Washington, D.C. that affects our bank accounts, make sure to hit the subscribe button now. Also hit that notification bell icon. Appreciate you guys dropping a like for the video, and make sure you and your family are protected. Get your free home warranty quote. I'll leave a link for you guys in the description down below. It takes about 20 seconds. Make sure to get your free home warranty quote link down below.
I can no longer remain in today's Democratic Party that's under the complete control of an elitist cabal of warmongers who are driven by cowardly wokeness, who divide us by racializing every issue and stoking anti-white racism, who actively work to undermine our God-given freedoms that are enshrined in our Constitution, who are hostile to people of faith and spirituality, who demonize the police but protect criminals at the expense of law-abiding Americans, who believe in open borders, who weaponize the national security state to go after their political opponents, and above all, who are dragging us ever closer to nuclear war. Now, I believe in a government that's of the people, by the people, and for the people.
Wow. How's that for the start of this video, huh? You just saw former presidential candidate Tulsi Gabbard, and she's not holding back any punches. In this video, she adds that Democrats are now for the powerful elite, and that Democrats who think like her should actually join the movement of independent thinkers who want to stray away from the Democratic Party. And we're so close to the midterms. This isn't what the president and the Democrats were expecting for sure. I mean, even MSNBC is saying that the Democrats are fighting a losing battle because President Biden is so unpopular with voters. Look at how Steve Konacki covered this concept with history as his main basis points.
28 days here, 4 weeks to go until election day. So we always talk about the midterm election. The president's job approval rating typically has been most closely associated with the results here. And you see Biden where he's at right now this morning, an average of a 42.9% approval rating. Let's take every recent president at this point, 28 days out from their first midterm. What were their average approval ratings? You can see where that 42.9 fits in. It's right there, a tick less than Trump, couple points under Obama, basically identical to Bill Clinton back in 1994. One exception here was George W. Bush. This is about a year after 9/11 when his popularity was still stratospheric. And you see what this has translated into in terms of House seats gained and lost in midterms. Again, Biden is right in that range. Trump lost the House. Obama lost the House. Clinton lost the House in 94. Giant gains for the opposition party. Again, Bush, the only exception. So on this metric, Joe Biden is right in that extreme danger zone for a president 28 days before the midterm.
The president is not having much luck, although he did have some good news recently. Although gas prices continue to soar, the president still has time to get Honda and LG Energy Solution together to make a joint venture battery plant that will cost around $4.4 billion. They've decided to build the plant in Ohio and will probably create thousands of jobs in the area. To be honest though, that's great, right? But let's put some perspective into this entire deal with EVs and gas at the moment. President Biden just pledged that there will be consequences for the US relations with Saudi Arabia since OPEC announced such a huge cut of oil production and seemed to be siding with Putin, even though he himself went there to beg for oil almost on his hands and knees, for God's sake, and even gave the crown prince a fist bump. Now think about it. Lawmakers are saying that we cut ties to Saudi Arabia. But then where are we supposed to get our energy from? The sun? It doesn't help that our petroleum reserves are at historic lows. We're now forced to rely on other countries for oil, and that's painting the United States, the strongest country in the world, to a very weak and defenseless one. This is not the best time to mess with Saudi Arabia. We need energy. It's not like our infrastructure is set for electric everything, right? I just made that up. Does that sound good? Electric everything? Anyway, if we see higher gas prices continue, more Americans they're going to be in a tough position come wintertime. And it's not like we're flush with cash or stimulus checks. We're all borrowing from our American Express cards, Visa, MasterCard, credit cards, and it's very difficult just to keep up with rental properties and housing. If only it were that simple to create a side hustle that will end with passive income. But even then, you'd need a few dollars to start up usually. Not every entrepreneur started with zero. Investors are in the deep end when it comes to the stock market, as it's incredibly volatile right now. It almost looks like the cryptocurrency market. So I'm not really sure what the president's thinking about at this point. We don't hold the high ground. We're like Anakin Skywalker at the end of the Star Wars movie. Energy makes the world go round, and if we don't have it, then our world stops moving. It also doesn't help that the railroad workers have rejected the deal from the president, making it possible that the holidays will face supply chain issues. Now, this is bound to make every little boy and girl unhappy. More than half of the track maintenance workers oppose the contract from the White House. A very scary number if you ask me, because not only will this affect the supply chain, but it directly impacts our economy as well. But don't worry though, the president just said that there's nothing to worry about. Come on guys, why does he say this? Well, it's not like he decided to finally send out stimulus checks that we need. He just says that the economy is going to be all right, because when he was asked about an economic downturn, here's what he said, quote, "Look, they've been saying this now every 6 months. They say this every 6 months. They look down at the next 6 months and see what's going to happen. It hadn't happened yet. I don't think that there will be a recession. If it is, it will be a slight recession. That is, we'll move down slightly," end quote. It's like saying that the water is not that deep. It's just slightly above your head. How are people supposed to survive this? And by not giving a direct answer that a recession will be officially announced, he's most probably also avoiding having to send out another stimulus check. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys are already aware that a recession have always produced a stimulus check for all of us, or almost all the time. When he was grilled to add more to his statement, he just said that a recession is possible and that Americans have been able to face a whole range of issues with the help of the Inflation Reduction Act. Now, one last question for the day. Has this bill changed your life already? I mean, do you feel more financially secure now that the Inflation Reduction Act has passed? I think it's full of bull. That's just my take. But I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section below. Now, is it just me, or does it seem like the vast majority of lawmakers are just completely out of touch with the needs of the American people? I can't be the only one who's thinking this. Now, I've been on both sides of the fence. Money was very tight growing up, and every little bit made a big difference. Those of you who have been lucky enough to receive state-level stimulus checks are thankful, but those stimulus checks, they're not going very far. And if you're on a fixed income relying on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, or even a low-income salary worker, just forget it. Inflation is eating up those wages faster than you can even get the direct deposit. It has gotten to a point that if you're not born wealthy, the only option left is to create additional income sources for you and your family just in order to survive. The average household lives paycheck to paycheck, and help in the form of a stimulus check from the government may show up too late. Increasing your income by picking a part-time job or a side hustle, or building some form of passive income, whether that's a dividend-paying stock, creating a small business or online business, may be the only way to survive in this new economy. Just imagine having enough cash left over to easily cover the cost of living, save and invest, and even have money left over to spend some time with your family on a vacation. Be sure to hit the link in the description down below for helpful information on how you can build passive income, creating online businesses, and increasing your income. Make sure to check out the links down below. And while you guys are down there, make sure to smash the thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to the channel and you want to keep updated with everything that matters to you regarding our economy and your bank account, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because if you want the truth, you know where to get it. Appreciate you guys watching. You guys are awesome. This is Ron. I wish you good health and better days to come. Y'all be safe.